Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Misha Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within. I was asking my good friend Earston. We hadn't talked for a couple weeks, and I want to talk about being of service versus being narcissistic. Being of service versus being narcissistic. And what a fine line that can seem to be. And perhaps in my narcissism, I still have an opportunity to be of service. I don't know. But let's get into it. I, again, was talking to my good friend Earston. And we talk every week or every couple weeks. And he's a musician close to my age. You can plow back through some episodes to find out how old I am. But he's re-inspired over the past couple of years to really go after that musician dream. And you can check him out, Earston Pearcy. He's got some music out there. Sorry, Earston, to put you out there. Not necessarily the main purpose here, but anyway, Earston and I are, both creative in our own ways, trying to be supportive of each other, and so I asked Earston, hey, what are my top 3 positives, or I can't remember how I framed it, but something like that. What are the top 3? What are my top 3s? Good things about me, attributes, characteristics, and he said some very nice things, and they were in regards to curiosity, wonder, and how I bring that curiosity and wonder to the interviews that I do, to the summit that I did, the summit interviews, the Tools for a Good Life Summit interviews. You can check them out at toolsforagoodlifesummit.com. And he said I bring that curiosity, true curiosity, childlike curiosity and wonder, and being interested to the interviews that I do, and I'm conscientious and caring and thoughtful and some other nice things in there. And he said some cool things about my character as well. First, good friend, loyal, supportive, spiritual, trustworthy, couple of other cool things that were super fun to hear. And thank you for listening to that. There's my narcissist, grandiose side coming out. And so I said, well, Earston, all right, give me the top 3 blind spots that I have, or, try not to call it negative, but maybe growth opportunities or some such thing. I believe I called them blind spots. And he thought for a minute, and 15, 30 seconds. And I recommend anybody do this with a good friend who knows them, who is willing to put themselves on the line, and get ready for the feedback too. That's the rest of the story. Get ready for the feedback. Anthony Trucks actually talked about this in the Tools for a Good Life Summit interview that I did with him. So again, you can go to toolsforagoodlifesummit.com, and one of the things that Anthony said to do was, purposefully or intentionally reach out to the closest people in your network and ask them for feedback. What are my positives that you see in me? What are my supposed negatives? What are my blind spots? And I thought, yeah, that's great. I'd actually have done that before, and I think in this iteration of what I'm up to, it was valuable to do it again. So I asked Earston, and he said, well, he goes, how there's so many people out there on the social media and podcasts or whatever, they're just super narcissistic, and they're just like, it's all about them, and like the people that are, he goes, I like the people that bring something, like they're trying to serve, carry a positive message, or not a positive message, but he said it in a way of people that are being helpful. It's a helpful message. They're trying to be helpful to the audience. And I'm listening, okay. And he drops the narcissist words a couple of times, and I'm not saying you do this, but, he went on a little 2 or 3 minute rant, which was very gracious. And Earston, I hope you're listening to this episode. Know that I love you, and it's super fun to talk about this. And Earston, by the way, you are very supportive of me. Thank you so much. One of the previous episodes I did was, who's supportive of you? Who is consistently supportive of you and your efforts and what you do? And Earston, my friend, you are one of those people. You are very supportive of me and my endeavors. And so anyhow, he's just talking about, people talking to hear themselves talk and being narcissistic and this and that. And I'm not saying you do it all the time, or so I'm like, so let me ask you, are you saying that sometimes it can seem like I'm just talking to hear myself talk, or I can't remember exactly how I said it. He goes, yeah, sometimes, not all the time. He goes, clearly you're trying to be useful or helpful or what have you. And he goes, and you're pumping out an episode every day, so it's going to be hard sometimes not to have it be about you. And oh my gosh, it was so sweet the way he said it. But I heard him, right? And I think it's a great question, and it's a question that I try to ask myself as I'm putting out the content that I'm putting out on social media, or I barely am on social media. I need to do it more, whatever need means. It is part of the master plan. Perhaps I'm not doing it yet because I don't know how to do it from a service standpoint. Yeah, so, I think it's a valuable question that I need to ask myself. How am I being of service with my message? And am I being of service? And I try to. My listener friends here who faithfully listen, or if you're a new listener, please know that I'm trying to be of service. I'm trying to carry a message of hope, change, trying new things. That's a big part of what I'm doing. Is you get to go on my journey with me as I try new things, try podcasting, try summits, try creating saleable content here soon, hopefully, whether that's courses or who knows what it is, high-end coaching or high ticket, that's what it's called in the online world, high ticket offerings, or who knows, maybe hard good products or what have you. I'm babbling a little bit at this point, but just trust that I am, I do circle back around to that, like God, universe, source. How can I be of service here? Help me be of service. And so I'm trying the best I can. And if I come off a little self-grandizing, if that's the right word, self-aggrandizing or narcissistic, or it's all about me, or talking to hear myself talk. There's no doubt that that's happening sometimes. So thank you for your patience with me, and do know again that I'm trying to bring the messages that I learn, or that not the messages, the incremental learnings that I've had through my experience and through the things I'm doing now, and trying to convey that, and my frustrations, my trials, tribulations. I'm trying to be vulnerable. Maybe I'm going down the narcissistic path right now. Again, I'm sorry. I'm trying. But I'm going to end with this. So there's a great thought of perhaps in my narcissism, or perhaps in it being about me, there's lessons to be learned from you as well. When I'm in that space, you can be like, perhaps, hey, if I'm creating content, that's a good way not to do it. Or if I'm trying to carry a message, perhaps he's showing me how not to do it. And I like that thought. So anyway, enough out of me. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Earston. Love you thank you for the great feedback. And everybody go check out the tools for agoodlifesummit.com, and check out Anthony Trucks and his little tips and tricks. Thank you for spending time with me today. As someone who is committed to growth and service to this world, I so appreciate your willingness to come with me, go within, and serve our world through change. If you found value in this podcast and you know someone who can use this message, share this episode with them. Share it so our mission can be achieved one episode at a time. And of course, subscribe so you can hear more. And lastly, for more resources on what has helped me on my journey and can help you on yours, go to belove.media/resources. That's BELOVE.media/resources. Thank you again for listening.